Hi, fifth graders. I'm Tran, and this is lesson 9. In today's lesson, we're going to be going over decimals to mixed fractions, adding decimal numbers, subtracting decimal numbers, and word problems. So on the first page, we're going to be converting decimals to mixed fractions, and number 1, we have 1.2. So we're going to look at the number on the left of the decimal place. So in this case, it is a 1. So we can just write a 1 because this is the whole number. Now we look to the right on the number on the right of the decimal place, and we see that is zero point 0.2. So since there's only one decimal place out of on the right, we can make it out of 10. And we're just gonna write the number 2. So now we see if we can simplify this fraction, and we actually can convert 2 out of 10 into 4 or 1 out of 5. So for number 1, our answer will be 1 and 1/5. So for number 4, we have the number 2.03. So once again, we look to the number on the left of the decimal place, and it's a 2, so we can just write a 2 down. And now we look to the numbers on the right of the decimal place, and it's 0.03. So since we have 2 digits on the right of the decimal place, we have to make this number out of 100. So now we can just write down the number 03, which is the same thing as 3. So we look if we can simplify this fraction further, and we actually can't simplify 3 out of 100, so our final answer for number 4 is 2 and 300. For number 8, we have the number 4.73. Once again, we look to the number on the left of the decimal place, and it is a 4, so we can just write down a 4 because it's the whole number. And now we have to look to the right of the decimal place, and we see that it's 0.73. So 4 for 0.73, it has 2 digits, so we're going to make it out of 100. And we're just going to write down the numbers on top of the fraction. So now we look if we can further simplify this fraction, and we can't, so our final answer for number 8 is 4 and 73 out of 100. For page 2, we're going to be adding decimal numbers. So for number 1, we have 0 0.4 plus 2.5. When adding decimal numbers, we just add it normally, like it's a normal number. So we have 2.5, and make sure that the decimal place stays in the same place. So we have 0 0.4, and now we can just add normally. So 5 plus 4 is 9. And don't forget your decimal place. And now 2 plus 0 is 2. So for number 1, our answer is 2.9. For number 4, we have 1.4 plus 8.3. We see that our decimal place is in the same column, so we're able to start adding. So we do 4 plus 3, which is 7, and 1 plus 8, which is 9. And don't forget your decimal place. So for number 4, our answer is 9.7. For number 8, we have a large number, but that's okay since we have 76.81 plus 6.42. We check that our decimal is in the same column, and it is. So now we can add up the two numbers. So we have 1 plus 2, which is 3. 8 plus 4 is 12. So we put the 2 here, carry over the 1. We put our decimal place. And now we do 1 plus 6, which is 13. So we put the 3 here, carry over the 1. Now 1 plus 7, which is 8. So our final answer for number 8 is 83.23. For the next page, we're going to be subtracting decimal numbers. So for number 1, we have 6.73 minus 2.3. We're just going to set it up the same way we would as subtracting any other type of number. And make sure that the decimal place is in the same column. So we see that it's in the same column, so we can subtract now. So 7 minus 3 is 4. Place our decimal point. And 6 minus 2 is also 4. So for number 1, our answer would be 4.4. For number 4, we have 8.43, and then 6.2. So we see that we only have two digits in this number while we have three digits in this number. So we just need to place the decimal place first. And now we look to what's one place on the right of the decimal place, which is a 2, and what's one place on the left of the decimal place, which is 6. So notice how we didn't put it like this because the decimal place wouldn't be aligned up. We need to line them up, so we put the 6 here, the decimal place here, and a 2 here. So first we have 3 minus nothing, which is 3. We have 4 minus 2, which is 2. And 8 minus 6, which is 2. So for number 4, our answer will be 2.23. For number 10, we have 72.124 minus. So we see that we have 4 digits here and 5 digits here. So we need to look at where the decimal place is. So the decimal place is here. And we look at the right of the decimal place and we have 579. And we look at the left of the decimal place and we just have a 3. So now that the decimal places are aligned, we're able to subtract. So 4 minus 9 is impossible, so we need to take a 1 here, carry over to 1. So 14 minus 9 is 5. A 1 minus 7 is impossible, so we need to take a 1 from here and carry over 1. So 11 minus 7 is 4. And now 0 minus 5 is impossible, so we need to take a 1 from here, and it becomes 10 minus 5, which equals 5. And now we can place our decimal point, because it's right here. Now 1 minus 3 is impossible, so we need to take a 1 from here. So 11 minus 3 is 8, and 6 minus nothing is 6. So for number 10, our final answer is 68.545. For the last page, we have a word problem. And number 1 asks, Mike and his classmates placed colored blocks on a scale during a science lab. The blue block weighed 0.63 pounds and the red block weighed 0.02 pounds. How much more did the blue block weigh than the red block? So it says how much more, so I know that we're going to subtract. So we look at the two numbers they gave us, which is 0.63 and 0.62 or 0.02. So now we can just align them up. 0.63 minus 0.02. We're going to subtract these two numbers, and we have 3 minus 2, which equals 1. 6 minus nothing, which equals 6. And we just put a 0 here because 0 minus 0 is 0. So it's asking how much more did the block weigh. So we put 0.61 and we're measuring it in pounds. So we're going to say 0.61 pounds. Don't forget to label your answer based on the question. So for number 1, our answer will be 0.61 pounds. That's all for this lesson, and I hope you found this helpful.